Welcome back to the Uncle Bob Crypto Podcast 008. I'm here with Deniz Omer, the CEO of Cryptodicy, the founder of ICODueDiligence.com, and the head of the ecosystem of Kyber Network, no less. Welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks for having me, Bob.
Very much so. So Kyber Network, if you don't know, is an Ethereum-based protocol that allows the instant exchange and conversion of digital assets and cryptocurrencies, Ether, Bitcoin, Zcash with high liquidity. It's similar to the 0x project, but instead performs all of its actions on the blockchain. A little bit about Deniz. Deniz has over a decade of financial market experience under his belt, and he started his career at Thomson Reuters Financial and Risk Division. He quickly developed through various roles before excelling in the private company financial space, specializing in large data. Welcome to the show, Deniz. Are you enjoying today? Have you been looking at the prices, by the way?
I have been looking at the prices, yeah, although I don't want them to go up too much so I can just keep buying more and more. That's how I'm thinking. I don't want it to get out of control too much too quickly, but it's always nice.
Yeah, all right. So you're a bull at heart.
I'm a bull, yeah. Well, are you a bear or?
No, I don't think I am. I think you're a bear. I have been at different points when I've traded cryptos, but yeah. Overall, I'm a bull. I have to be a bull. I've set up this channel because I'm bullish,
Yeah, so what do you hold?
At the moment, Matic, mainly BTC, ETH, basically top 20 okay. And a few shit coins.
Okay, yeah.
How
no,
about
that's
you?
Good. I think I'm mostly ETH and a bit of Kyber. I'm super bullish on ETH. I think ETH is there's going to be lots of different things happening in the blockchain space, but because there's just so many, thousands of developers already working on Ethereum and already building, while all the other blockchains are still getting out of the gate, that I think the next 1, 2, 3 years at least belongs to Ethereum, especially with ETH 2.0 on the way as well, especially because even at Kyber, where we are completely built on Ethereum, we can see the on-chain numbers and the metrics gradually building up and building up. Whereas looking around, okay, there's Bitcoin, fair enough, but there isn't anything else that has gained traction yet. So I'm super happy to be holding ETH. I think it's super undervalued compared to everything else. Maybe the other ones will go up as well, but I'm happy with ETH.
I don't know if you know, I've got a website called www.bobsblockchaincafe.com. It's quite a small site, but it's growing. And I did an article there the other day. Do you know the Silk Road?
Yeah, of course.
You know, Dread Pirate Ross Ulbricht?
Yeah, I've read a book on it, yeah.
Oh, right. Well, I did an article on him. Did you see his prediction the other day?
Was it some crazy prediction? I think I saw it.
Well, he did one before Christmas. It was for $100,000. Yeah, but now he's done an even
more. When?
I think it was by the end of 2020.
Okay,
but he's revised that. He thinks we're gonna crash after the halving, and we're gonna go all the way down to $1,200. He uses Elliott wave analysis or the Elliott wave principles, but then he said because that's the end of wave 2. Wave 1 was from 0.06 cents up to 20,000. That was wave 1. Wave 2 was from 20,000 all the way down to what will be 1,200. And he said from 1,200, wave 3 is to 333 million.
So 333 million means a market cap worth
7 quadrillion.
Not even 7 quadrillion. Well, there you go. I think that answers it itself. That's such a crazy number. Yeah.
That's what solitary confinement does to you.
I don't know, even the Elliott waves, when you fit it back to the data, does it completely match, as well as just looking at a simple regression curve, long-term one, which kind of fits what we've seen in the last 8 years? Because that's what I'm looking at a regression curve. So over time, we do spike up, but every time the growth isn't 1,000%, for example, it keeps going 1,000%, and then 800%, 600. So now we're due, let's say 400, 500%. And that the data is telling us that's in end of 2022, 2023. So that's what I'm basing my current position on. I'm happy to buy at these levels because I think in 2 years' time, both Bitcoin and Ethereum and a few other ones are going to see, Bitcoin up to 70, 80,000 pounds. I guess you use pounds, right? Pounds or above
Dollars.
or
I
whatever it is.
reckon. Yeah. How about Ethereum? What can you see that at?
I mean, I'm doing my spreadsheets, like my calculations, based on like 5.5, 6,000. I'm okay with anything above that is like an extra bonus. But I think we do have it in us to go from 1,400, the previous peak, like 4x to 5,000, 6,000 is possible if Bitcoin is going to do 20 to 100,000.
Wow, that's an incredible. What kind of X gain is that from here? That's 6,000 would be like a 300x gain, 300 times.
For Ethereum, from now, it would be like just multiply your
portfolio
30. By 25. 25, 30, yeah.
300.
Yeah.
Forget my maths. All right, so you're quite bullish on Kyber Network as well. Obviously, you work for them. Tell us a little bit about Kyber Network and why you are so goddamn bullish.
Okay, so the most simple way to explain Kyber is as a place where if you want to come and swap one asset to another, instead of having to mess around with centralized exchanges where you have to wait for a number of confirmation times and you have to open accounts and whatever, here's an on-chain smart contract that will convert anything you want for anything else you want with guaranteed liquidity. So we just solved this kind of problem. We have like a set of, we've attached a whole universe of reserve managers, like liquidity providers basically. They're always backstopping each trade. They're saying, whenever you come and want to swap one token to another, they're saying, yep, we'll buy it or we'll sell it at this price. And they're competing between themselves to offer the best price. The end user gets the best price. So basically, Kyber is just a way of swapping one token to another on an on-chain permissionless mechanism. And this means that, yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, go on. I interrupted you.
Well, this just means that you can have many different ecosystem dApps, wallets, decentralized financial applications, arbitrage bots, different kinds coming and using Kyber for their own needs without having to set up accounts and permissions or anything. So we have this whole ecosystem around Kyber. That's why I'm so bullish on Kyber, as opposed to other exchanges where it's just purely an exchange. You go there and you just buy one token to another. Whereas here, because it's on chain and you're feeding to so many different kinds of liquidity, you can do much more creative things with it. And that's why we're seeing like decentralized finance applications use it to build on-chain 5x leveraged positions by using Kyber. You know, that might be like 20, 30 steps. You can reduce it to one single transaction just by using Kyber and different protocols to kind of build what we call like a primitives, financial primitives, basically, like little financial tools. And that's the whole DeFi aspect of what Kyber kind of helps to enable.
Okay. You seem quite excited. What about it excites you? What about that excites you specifically?
Well, we're seeing that there's actual demand for such a thing, and we've been seeing the number of users increasing over time, and that's really exciting because everyone's talking about blockchain, but without the adoption, I mean, okay, it's great, but we're thinking blockchain is going to revolutionize the world eventually. It might take 5, 20 years, whatever it takes. That comes through adoption.
Who knows? We could have a world full of gambling addicts.
Yes, maybe that's the equilibrium. Everyone's gambling, you know.
Everyone checking their phone like this.
Yeah, every 2 seconds, yeah, and buying Lambos with it, hopefully at the end.
Waking up at 3 in the morning. No,
yeah,
that's not me for sure. Okay, so what else have they got in the roadmap? What have they got coming up that excites you?
So at the end of this quarter, so let's say June, maybe July, we're releasing something called Catalyst, and that's our major protocol upgrade. And that changes quite a few things in Kyber, which I think takes us to the next level. So right now, if you hold a Kyber, for example, over time, Kyber is basically burnt. So you have a dropping supply, demand increases, so that's why the value goes up.
What is the supply actually?
The supply, I think right now is 187 million, for example, roughly around there. So whenever one of these liquidity providers that I previously mentioned wants to trade, they have to pay 0.25% of the trade value in KNC. And all that KNC is collected and it's burnt. That's been our model for the first 2 years. and it's worked great. But now we thought of an even better system where we let those KNC holders decide the parameters of Kyber exchange, and they can basically decide like the trades, how much fee there should be on it. Once that fee is collected, how it should be divided amongst the different stakeholders. So for the liquidity providers, we can provide a rebate. For KNC stakers that vote, we can provide them a reward which comes from part of that fee. And a part of it can be burned. So we have rewards, rebates, and burning. And the Kyber DAO, all these people who are holding KNC can vote and decide what that ratio should be. And this is coming in June. And that's what we're really focused on as a team right now, getting out this new piece that is like one of the first applications of a DAO where there is actually an existing user base and there is quite a bit of demand to use that governance mechanism to earn a reward.
That's interesting. Wow. Is there anything else out there like Kyber Network, or are you out there on your own? Who's your competition?
No, we do have competition for sure. And actually, it's actually been heating up quite a bit in the last year. So this whole DeFi space exploded, let's say early 2019. And since then, we've seen many good competitors come and, like, for example, 0x, when you said what's similar to Kyber and what I explained, they have some similar kind of governance mechanism using a DAO where some of the fees from 0x are used and rewards are distributed to 0x holders. And then some of our other competitors are, for example, Uniswap, but that's completely on a different model where it doesn't have like this token for its kind of running, and it's using automated market makers. There's different kinds. There's different. Yeah. It's like different. There's
what
different
do you think
flavors.
Will set you apart, though?
So the beauty of Kyber is that all these liquidity providers that I mentioned, it's like a benefit that there can be so many different kinds. So what I mean is Uniswap is built on the idea of an automated market maker, which means that the next price is determined by this curve, and the more demand there is in one segment, the higher the price. So basically there's a slippage. But what this system allows you to do basically is always have guaranteed liquidity provided automatically through an equation. So that's how Uniswap works. On Kyber, you can have this, but then you can also have manual market makers. You can deploy different kinds, and you can even connect to other existing exchanges. So we're connected to Uniswap, we're connected to Oasis and to Bancor. So we pull in their liquidity as well, and we serve it downstream. So that's the difference between us and some of the other exchanges.
Interesting. Okay. So where can we buy Kyber if you're just the average investor?
So where you can buy KNC, and that's like the Kyber Network crystal. It's what powers these lightsabers in Star Wars. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you've ever seen it.
I like the sound of it.
Yeah. So that's what powers it. So if you want KNC, you can pretty much buy it from anywhere, from Coinbase, from Binance, from using Kyber itself on chain.
And what's it currently priced at now? And what's your price prediction? If you had one for Ethereum, give us a ballpark figure where you think it could be.
Well, I mean, I don't know. It wouldn't be appropriate, I think, for me to make a direct prediction but overall, I think we're going to keep going up and appreciating in value, just because you can see the results and you can see that the mechanism is rewarding the KNC holders. So each KNC holder is going to start accruing Ethereum. So I said Ethereum is going to go up, and part of this Ethereum, part of the volume is going to come and feed to KNC. So my prediction is that KNC is going to appreciate in value as well.
Well, let's hope so. Deniz, thanks very much for coming on today. And yeah, let's come back to this in a few months, see where we are.
Definitely, yeah. Thanks a lot for having me on, Uncle Bob.
Thank you very much.
Good luck with your portfolio as well.
Take care. Thank you.
Thanks. Bye-bye.